Hey guys, Sean here. I'm back with another banger video. So we just got done with the alpha section of the lock-in tournament, and there was all kind of crazy games. We got to see Split, we got to see Lotus, we got to see Harbor, we got to see Yoru. I think we've seen every agent besides Reyna, which is crazy considering she's in all of our ranked games. But what I wanted to focus on today in this particular video is something I didn't think would happen. We would see Chamber, and not only would we see Chamber, we would see Chamber on Lotus, and we would see both top teams pick it. These are tier 1 teams in the world. These are S tier level teams, and I'm talking about Cloud9 and Paper Rex, and none other than Ye and Forsaken were the ones locking it. And you can see based on their ACS, they were the top performers for their teams. I'm going to get into the VoDs on what they did, how they made this viable, can you do it in your ranked games, and why did they look so different right off the bat. I mean, it's going to get a little crazy. So on one side, we're going to have a Chamber in Ye who has another Sentinel that has trips. He has a Cypher, so he can play a lot different than someone like Forsaken. But Forsaken has the benefit of having Sage, who has a wall. These are common things that I feel like we would see if Chamber was a lock on a team. Can another agent stall well enough or provide information well enough to make up for the deficiencies in this new Chamber? So let's see how these teams accomplish that. On defense right now, we have Ye, and on attack, we have Forsaken. So we're going to outline right now what Ye is doing on defense, what Forsaken's doing on attack, and then we'll flip at half. You can see Ye has this trip on C. He has his TP over here at Waterfall, right outside of C. And he's ready to take an aggressive pick by Mound. This is a really cool TP play. And one of the few in the game that Chamber can't be punished, right? He can only TP 13 meters from the TP location, so he can't get too far. So when you play a heavy duelist comp with, like, say, like double satchels, or even a Neon that can run it down on you, a Jet that can dash on you, these are all terrifying things in this new Chamber meta. But with tricks like this to go behind these walls and access Waterfall as opposed to the seaside itself or right around the corner, this is a great situational use of his kit. And then on the other side, we have Forsaken, who put his TP right up on the barrier outside of Long A. And this, if you watch my Lotus video, is going to be one of the most heavily contested areas on this new map. And you can see from round 1, Cloud9 was going to set that precedent. They have 4 people looking at A long. So again, this is a really good usage of the Chamber TP, because Forsaken is going to be able to kind of scope this out, absorb a lot of the util, and then TP away without taking a lick of damage. And then also we have the trip on B, and this is a pretty cool trip because this trip should be able to stop like a C flank to A as well as a B flank to A. It gives a lot of info, but it will limit the range of where Forsaken can go on a round like this. Off the bat, you can see Forsaken, he is going to progress out of this long A position. They send a Skybird out. He takes this shot inside of the Neon stun, guys, but he can still get away. So he makes the defenders use all of this util. The one way coming in from Vanity on this ledge here, the Skybird coming in from Zeppa, and the stuns coming in from Zelsis. So a lot of util being thrown his way, and he's able to get out of there, call to his team. You know, this is a super heavy stack A. I experienced at least 3 here. He obviously didn't see Omen, but the smoke comes in super fast, so you know he's close. And meanwhile, we have Ye, who has the timing off this barrier, because defenders get this first contact before the attackers. He's able to slime out to this box, which will let him get a fight. And with teleport, this is a great situation to be in on defense. So both Chambers, within seconds of this game, are finding immense value in their kit. Here's Ye. He actually opts to buy a ghost, takes his shots, and you can see he's TP'd back into Waterfall. And there's just no way that these players were going to cut this distance in time and break this trip, which is also guarding him. So now he has some additional time to kind of set up in this site, maybe reposition towards spawn, wait for the rotate to come in, or it could have even been a bait setup and he could technically roll to B. There's a lot of options available for Ye at this point in the round. You can see another cool addition here. If you look at Forsaken, he's collected his trip and he's bringing it back to the C site, because initially this could have been an A hit, but based on what Forsaken saw, he's saying no, we are not going to make this an A hit. So you can see Ye getting out of the site, and super cool wall from Benkai to get in the site, and the site is indeed theirs. We're just going to fast forward a bit. Cloud9 ends up retaking the site, and the pistol goes their way. On the bonus of Cloud9, this was the first time we actually see the Sage Wall boost for the pick, and it works. And I think this is a key reason why you see a lot of movement in the utilities that are used that long, because this is a very unique thing that Paper X has done here. They're using a Grim Wall to get an opening pick with a chamber, and it's just such a good idea to boost the chamber up, who can TP out. You can see the TP is right behind Sage actually on the minimap. So this chamber can go up on the Sage Wall, be zoomed in on the rise, and even someone like Neon, as you can see, won't even be able to get past this. These guys are cooking.
These guys certainly looking to take a fight early.
So they wall up Forsaken, and you can just see how quick this is. Like, he is able to get that vision before the one-way ever pops from Vanity. I mean, Vanity's throwing this one-way off of the barrier. That's how quick this scenario can happen. In addition to all this, you know, you got the paint shells, the Omen's TPing out, the sky is birding. Every player on Paper X is using a piece of utility at the start of this round.
Seeing that, yeah, these guys certainly looking to take a fight early.
Oh my, like, look how quick this is. So the Neon is actually just running it down right now. So they're walling up to cross, they're birding, they're one-waying this corner, and they're probably going to stun it as well. But none of this matters when you got an opping chamber on top of a Sage Wall. Really cool round right there. What you're going to see throughout this entire half is, because of the fact that Chamber has kind of like a weak trip in this meta, he is actually left to hold this flank. Even if he put the trip down based on the rest of the half, he still would probably occupy this zone. But just something to keep in mind, right? Like, you are really stuck holding the flank. You're there at the start of the hit, but you kind of have to fade away and be passive on this new role. Round 5. This is pretty cool because Ye has changed his TP location. It went from being, you know, on this wall, which grants him access to this entire area, to he's moved it to the corner of the waterfall by C-Link, and he still has his trip in this same spot. So let's look at how he approaches this particular TP and what this allows him to do. And you can see, because he's not playing the C site here, because he's not taking this aggressive pick on C, he's just loaning this trip to a Cypher who's tripping C as well as B. So you can see Ye is posturing to take a pick over here by B, potentially even aggressively, but his teleport wouldn't work too far on this right side, so he's likely to go left. In addition to that, once he teleports, you can see in a setup like this, there'd be a big gap on this B site because the Omen is super focused on setting up these players for long, and that's going to leave a hole right here without a trip. So this is the value of running this double sentinel. This is why Cloud9 chose to run a Cypher. We're going to get to see the value of the Sage next half, but it's just something to keep in mind here. In addition to that, we have the same stall tactics are being used over here at A with the smoke, the bird, the stuns, the paranoia actually as well, but Forsaken still manages to get the opening kill. The value of this opening TP at long is just ridiculous. So we're going to run it back one more time just to show you what is being thrown Forsaken's way and why this TP is so good. So the first pistol, we saw him go very wide, right? He tried to beat the smoke, beat the flash, beat the stuns, get his headhunter shot off. This round, he just opts to play it passive. He just wants to hold this line. And not many agents would want to hold this line. You know, maybe a Jet, but most players would probably get traded out or take a lot of damage, potentially really get nothing out of it. But that's not the case for Chamber, who can go through all of this util and still come out on top. So again, the Skybird comes in. You can see the paranoia. The paranoia is meant for someone that comes out of the main, but that's not at all what Forsaken's doing. So it barely misses him. The bird misses him. He gets the pick on Zelsis. And then meanwhile, we have Ye over here who has popped his ult. And this is the pick he's going for. Very aggressive and also a lot of info, because what you can do from this spot is hear everything that's going C. You can hear people as they kind of run across this zone going towards A. And in addition to that, you're controlling the center of the map with a TP leading to C and a rotating door right next to you. So Ye has tons of control right now with this operator. Let's see how he plays it out.
They can now juggle that weapon across and bring that through if they...
So the Sky Flash actually comes in from Devi. That clears out Ye's spot because he knows that Ye has popped this ult. And since both teams are indeed running a chamber, there's only so much they can do. While these spots are powerful, there's only so many of them that chamber can have currently in this meta. The Flash lets them know, okay, someone's in this zone, guys. If we've encountered the Duelist over here, the Sky over here, the Omen Paranoid, it could technically be the Omen, but would the Omen push solo front B? Would the Cypher push solo front B? Probably not. So Paper Rex has a really, really good read on this situation because of this flash that just popped.
Could just opt to save it. I imagine most of it's going to come down to how far this round actually goes.
Really good mid-round aggression by Zeppa, and that really turns the round on its head. At this point, Paper Rex just don't really know what to do. So they start rolling back a little bit over here towards A. Zeppa pops the ult, and they group up at C. The stall smoke is coming in from Vanity already. Chamber Trip is still up. There's a lot of stuff here. There's a Cypher. There's the Omen who is rotated over. There's a Chamber Trip. There's a Cypher Trip. There's a Chamber that could potentially TP over to Waterfall or open this door. This setup from Cloud9 is phenomenal.
He's gone back down though, and now to fight their way back into the side at least.
He's just taking note of Ye's angle here. He's not worried about the door opening because he has his TP available to him still. He opens the door and he takes the pick over on this side. And you can see Mind Freak actually punishes him. It's actually absurd that doesn't end up working out for Ye, but you saw the intention, and I actually think that if the round was replayed again, that was probably one of the worst case scenarios that could have happened to Ye. I just wanted to draw a little bit of attention to that, how unlucky he might have been there. Let's take a look at this round. So this is the first round, I believe, in the entire game where Ye decides to go A. This is just a very different look, right? He's the only person on his team other than the Omen that would be able to play on top of this box. And Omen wouldn't want to play up here because, like I said earlier in this video, and even in my Lotus video, this area is contested so much. And it's one of the only rounds where Cloud9 is not going to contest this area, but it's because of the fact that they have this dog buy. I mean, look at this buy that they're on. This is an eco for them. This is just a situationally decent spot to have a Vandal or a Headhunter with a TP. You can take your shot, go for the headshot, and TP out if you get it. And it's also a great strat by Cloud9 to do this and on Ye's contact be pushing through. We see the pitfalls this round of the attack chamber, which is what I'm kind of preparing to get into here. Okay, so this is why an Omen wouldn't want to be up in this area. The Sky Flash, potentially, you know, if you're playing a Breach, this is going to get Breach Flash. Next half, we're going to see Omen blinds just chucked here all the time. I think we might even see Mind Freak just chuck one right now. Yeah, there it is right there. So all of this misses this box and Ye gets his shot. Ye has his shot right now. And on the other side of things, we have the TP used by Forsaken in the corner as well as the trip. The same style of thing, right? He can TP out of here at any second. He has the trip holding the flank and the team is going super quick towards this A hit. This is an all-in A take. So the TP goes around the corner and you can see this is not punishable. He can live here. This is so viable. And in addition to that, he's able to potentially stall them more. This is an eco, like I said before, so we don't even really get to see Ye's trip. But in a setup like this, you could actually trip anywhere you want in this area. You could leave a trip behind the box. You could leave a trip at this corner. You could put trips anywhere in the zone. You could even put it here at B at the start of the round to make sure, you know, in the mid round, do you want that access to be available to attackers? Well, a trip would be able to help you in knowing that possibility is actually available to them, right? Because if the trip stays up, you're in such a good spot where you know they're not going B through that link, which then allows you to rotate through spawn and stack A site.
Patch Ye, but luckily he didn't land the shot, got out just before he was picked off.
In previous iterations of the chamber meta, this isn't really something we would see. We would see a lot of aggressive chambers because there were global trips, because of the fact that there was 2 TPs and you could take these super aggressive fights and disengage and you could scope out the map for trap plays. That's not the case in this meta. On attack, you end up in this scenario like this where you're Forsaken and you're holding the flank like a Sentinel would normally do.
Coming up on the other side, and Ye's got that info, right? He sees multiple players coming A. The flank is called for immediately. Forsaken.
So Forsaken gets timed a bit here.
Oh, this could be dangerous. Okay.
And his trip is immediately broken. One of the worst case scenarios possible for him. And meanwhile, on A, they have dropped 2 smokes. They've walled off the site. And Ye is between it all. And honestly, his face is probably looking something similar to the one I drew on the screen. Little Sag. So Ye probably wishes he had his trip right about now. I think Paper X is recognizing right about now that there is a lot of people flanking. Omen Paranoia coming through, Dog coming through, people running down Forsaken. Paper X reacts really well by pushing into Ye here. Really good reaction.
4 players right in front of him.
See, Forsaken just misses. Paper X just say F it and just push their own wall. They push back site. But the Cypher ult comes in, and Cloud9 ends up scrapping through this round. Thanks to Zeppo mainly. Actually, an insane round by Cloud9. Pretty ridiculous. This game honestly lived up to the hype. It was so good. It was so damn good. So here is round 10, and this is another round where some cool stuff goes down with the chambers. We have Ye loaning the trip to C. He has the TP in this corner, which indicates, okay, this is probably going to be that front B pick. He does indeed have an operator, so that's a great area to patrol. I mean, especially when you're going against, you know, 1 initiator. So you really only have to break this Dog and this boom bot. And after that's over, it's free pickings for a chamber with an op in this zone. And you oftentimes don't really want to use that stuff to clear these like opening angles, right? You want to kind of save that a little bit. So this is a really strong pick for this given comp. So Paper X, fresh out of this timeout, has a bit of a counter ready for this super heavy A defense that Cloud9 has thrown at them every round. They have the 2 people set up here to take long A. The difference is that Cypher has now come all the way to C. Now we're getting the fight, right? It clearly looks like Mind Freak is going to TP out behind this wall. He wants to get out. We have the paint shells in this zone behind the half wall. And you're like, that's early. Well, he's playing against the Neon, who can get there really quick. Another good scenario to use something like this would be if you're playing an Omen that likes TPing behind this half wall. It's something that's really common that I've seen on Lotus so far. So Paper X adapting on the fly, using their kit really well here.
You want to go there early? No problem. I'll send a nade.
So the bird, front pillar, the paint shells, the slow. I mean, if you decide to contest long against this take, you're in big trouble. So you can see right away, Mind Freak gets out, Paranoia is through, and long is indeed theirs. Such a good take right there by Paper X. The trip is holding the flank, and Forsaken, who did have his TP to get out, now has it back in his pocket. He's collected it back because there was no challenge, and he's ready to take the next fight into this round.
Just managed to jump spot, so they will know this coming in
And
this
as the doors open, you can see the wall comes in to block spawn. Paranoia comes out from Vanity to counter that, and the split is in.
Now they just have to try and deal with Zelsis.
Forsaken's TP has yet to load, but he recalls the alarm bot that he previously had at long because he's out of range. So there's a time frame where he is within range from his alarm bot, but you can clearly see that has passed, and he's quick to recall it. It's no longer on the field, and it's currently being recharged in his pocket. Keep that in mind if you're a chamber. Don't just sit on an inactive trip. Your teammates won't really probably even think about it, especially in your ranked games. So just collect it, tell your team that it's open.
But it's not happening. Do they expect this many players to be on the site? Even spotting Leaf, they might now think that there's no way Vanity would be there, but for
and then he just takes the challenge heaven. He puts his TP down backside. So he immediately puts this TP down, and he's ready to fight. He goes into the smoke. He spots one and TP's back out. That is just such quick util usage by Forsaken right there to get an extra piece of info to potentially catch another fight and just secure the round. But he doesn't stop there, actually. I'm pretty sure he keeps going this round. He knows Leaf is stuck back here now, so he goes up the rope and kills Leaf. It's actually just insane. And then he immediately jumps down before Ye can trade. It's just such a cool play by Forsaken. I can't help but smile. And then he comes back up. This guy is a madman.
I'd love to have Jason's confidence.
Okay, again, we have Ye taking a peek over here at long, except this time He has a duelist and an initiator with him, as well as a Cypher playing passive on the site. A really hard read on a run like this by Cloud9 because their B defense is terrible. Even their C defense really lacking, right? Like no trips here, no trips or eyeballs here. And Vanity is just playing between the site. He's not even playing either site. He's just playing sound between them. Pretty much a full retake on both of these sites. Kinda crazy.
Might be the big one for this round. Instead, it looks like
so you can see Forsaken puts his trip over for a C flank. They have Mind Freak on probably a late A lurk, and they're going to go for a B walk right here.
Rounds. This is going to be centered around.
So really cool TP again used by Forsaken. So he puts it on this wall and he has 13 meters from here. So he definitely has a range into the B site to play with right now. Just such a cool TP to potentially use at this point. Mind Freak is over here lurking A, loaning smokes, and Ye is playing within his TP range over here. He's taking this pick over by long. You can see he actually also has an op and he's sitting on his alarm bot. Ye, once he takes this area as Shaper, could actually probably put up an alarm bot in like a really annoying spot in this field. I mean, there's a lot of places he could put it and stay within 35 meters. So that's a pretty cool idea too if you're a Chamber.
Right now, it looks like paper.
You can see here's that wall I was talking about. Forsaken can stay within this. That is kind of insane. They can go for a plant strat like this where they smoke off this back area by the link. They put this wall up so that way anyone playing Heaven has no vision. Anyone playing B link has no vision. In addition to that, if someone starts spamming it, I mean, this Chamber could potentially just jump up on these boxes, you know, and punish that person. This strat has quite a bit of layers to it. But one of the biggest things is the fact that Forsaken ends up getting out of here very early.
They're going for the plant right in on the side.
So you can see he just lost his TP. So his TP goes probably like right about this like little window.
Banned from essentially any angle.
And there's Forsaken kind of just trying to get this opening pick, right? He's trying to open things up in this Chamber role, which is exactly what you want him to do. You want him to give you that advantage so that way you can play the post in a 5-on-4 advantage. His only goal here is to get this one kill. The Skydog's coming in from Heaven. But the stun from Zelsis is just goated. This stun makes Forsaken have to disengage out of here. He can't stay. He even tries to stay through the stun for as long as possible because he knows the importance of taking that fight. That's the key value in his agent, and he's playing it to perfection. He's still a yay with his team. Yeah. So this just gets wild where everyone's just spamming the smoke. Not much more Chamber shenanigans on a round like this. So insane. Just completely sticks the spike. Actually can't even believe that works out. But I think the util to push Forsaken out of that wall so quickly is what made this possible.
He is there. He's about to die.
I'm just completely flabbergasted.
As well, you know what I was going to say?
Unreal.
You literally said.
And that's with Mind Freak flanking and getting those kills. Leaf is just sticking this.
Stop them from defusing, and I'm thinking, Tom, it's a laneway. Look how narrow
just
that is.
cheesing hard. And then here we have the last round of the half where we have again this super heavy A take. And just like Pistol, Forsaken's trying to break this timing. He's trying to get out and get his shot while all this util is being thrown. No one even really has their gun out at this point, right? So Forsaken again just cracking things open, using the Chamber to absolute perfection, getting the opening kill on Ye, immediately popping his ult when he gets it. Like, this is just so insane. You know, Mind Freak creating the space with the blind. Everything is just so fast when you watch Forsaken play this Chamber. The dog clears out the door for them. Even after getting this opening pick, right? He TPs out, and what is he doing? He's holding the flank because they have no trips to hold the flank. And he has to stay within range of this. So he's just making sure no one's quick flanking, making sure, you know, that no one's going to be hot on the heels of the hit, especially while Sky's in the dog.
Again. There we go. Second time's the charm.
You can see at this point, you know, the hit is starting to come in. The wall comes out. The smoke's in the site. The Sky has just birded for them. And now the Chamber's finally peeled off of the flank.
Just take a look at the hood.
You can see he's just holding this line, and he actually just gets the kill right through this smoke. Like, that is unreal. So just constantly harassing at this point from long. You're on the flank. I mean, there's not really much for him to do, and he can always take the door to meet up with his teammates, right? So he's just putting a lot of pressure there while this spike goes down to make sure people don't feel comfortable just like running into the site through this choke.
a spot inside of it. They're hearing the steps, but no one's there to punish. And he's out. Okay, he gets taken down in the end.
And
but
he's within range of this. He gets his op kill with his ult from holding that angle.
He's alive? Okay, give him a shot then.
And just another really, really well played round by Paper X. That is the conclusion of this first half. Pretty wild. I mean, pretty wild the value that we saw Chamber get throughout that half. And it does not stop there, guys. It does not stop there.